Welcome to another episode. I have another really nice Argentinian wine today. Today is the 2018 Felino Chardonnay from Mendoza. This retails in the high teens range. Very famous consultant on this wine, Paul Hobbs, who has his own name in California as well as in Latin America. He consults with the Familia de Icas wines in Uruguay, which have been some of my favorites historically. So this is 100% Chardonnay, obviously from Mendoza. The production is pretty high, it's pretty widely available. And they have really, I think in the last 3, 4, 5 years, dialed back the oak influence and brought it to a more restrained style in keeping with the times. But it's still not Chablis and not intended to be. So let's see what we have in the glass. Yeah, so I mean this is California Chardonnay 10 years ago in an unreasonably cool year. There's not a lot of oak influence. The mallow, I assume this is at least partial mallow, if not full malolactic fermentation. But it's not overwhelming. It's 14.2 on the label. But it's got some nice, some white flowers, a little tiny buttery oak note there, but not, it's not Rombauer, we could say. But this is, you know, scallops, salmon, the kind of wine, I mean, I can already tell you for sure that would go nicely with that. Medium to full bodied, I can already tell. But like you can get lime oil, lemon oil on the nose that tells you that this isn't just going to be a confected kind of sugar bomb wine. So let's see what it tastes like. So this bottle's a little cold. So I'm trying to kind of, without being disgusting, let it kind of kick around in my mouth a little bit. The oak definitely comes through, I think, a little bit more on the palate than it does on the nose, but it is not at all overwhelming. It has really kind of weirdly electric acidity. The acidity is really high here, which is nice. It doesn't have a super long finish, and I wonder if that may be because the wine is too cold. But it's really for people who, you know, imagine you have Aunt Sally and, you know, your husband or wife over who disagree vehemently about what style of Chardonnay they like to drink. This really splits the difference in a nice way. Yeah, it's kind of surprisingly, and it's not oaky and big on the palate, but it's aromatically, it's almost like, you know, really restrained, you know, sort of a pouy fuissé or, you know, a sort of restrained style of Chardonnay from Burgundy. Yeah, I got it warmed up a little bit. There's a nice, almost like flint kind of gun stock, not gun stock, flint kind of like a spark that sets off a gun flavor there. So some nice kind of like mineral notes. And I think, you know, it's more persistent in the mouth now that I have it warmed up with my hands. But this is really good wine, and I think, you know, I have gone from being a full-time Chardonnay hater to more or less a full-time Chardonnay defender, and I think that, you know, the variety has gotten deserved abuse because of what winemakers were doing with the grape. But no matter what style of wine you like to drink, Chardonnay exists in that style, unless you like to drink red wine, obviously, only. But yeah, I mean, I think this is, I just opened it too, so I think it's a young wine, it's 2018, so I think this has 3, 4, 5, 7 years left to go. And I like this a lot. I think this is 89 plus points. This is in the high teens for somebody who's very picky about his Chardonnay. I think this is good stuff. I think it's a nice way, and yeah, I mean, like, wow, aromatically, it really, like, the sort of lemon oil, lime oil is quite strong. And then on the palate, you got the acid, a little bit of wood, and then that weird, like, flinty mineral note that I find intriguing. So, you know, for reasonably high production Chardonnay from Mendoza for under 20 bucks, you kind of can't go wrong. The Felino 2018, where are we here? There, Chardonnay from Mendoza, Paul Hobbs Consultant, 89 points. Good stuff.